Want to see a magic trick? Stay tuned.
You guys ready for this? It's not perfect, y'all, but get ready to be blown away. I was blown away. Okay, so here we go. Remember the flowers that I did the other night? Well, I took some paint. Y'all, and I dibble-dabbled it here and there, swirled some light colors with some dark colors, some greens, all of that. It looks really dark on this monitor. It doesn't look right. It doesn't look right for whatever reason. I'll take a picture of it. I think I might resin. I might pour resin over this. You know what? I'm going to try it with another flower. Now it's going to be an epic failure. I have no idea. I might have got lucky. Don't know. Gonna find out. You want to find out with me? I took it downstairs and showed it to my husband, and he went, wow. I've been up for 2 hours figuring out how I could learn how to do this. And he goes, well, now you're on to something else. Now you're on a new mission. So when I showed him this, I said, hey, remember those paintings I showed you this morning? Looky here. This is decoupage napkin with a painted background. Let's do it. Let's do it again.
Okay, so on the back of one of those Dollar Tree 12 by 12 signs, I'm going to go in and give it a coat of Fusion Mineral Paint in raw silk, and then I go in and give it a second coat. Because you want the background to be nice and bright when you add the napkin. Then dry it all up and get ready for Mod Podge. Now I chose this gorgeous floral napkin that was given to me by one of my followers. I love the colors in it, and I'm only going to have to use half of the napkin, which will allow me to make another one if I need to. So I'm just cutting it right in half so that the florals will fit across the length of the board. Next, I need to separate the plies of the napkin, and this napkin had 3 plies. So what I like to do is take a little dab of Mod Podge between my thumb and forefinger and make it sticky. Go to the corner of the napkin and then just gently pull them apart. It's a great method and it works well. And voila! Now typically I would go in with a wet brush and get rid of all that white at the top of those flowers, but because I'm not going to have to worry about it being seen, because I'm going to camouflage that with paint, so I'm just going to go in with my scissor kind of quickly and just snip off some of that white that you see, because as you will see later, I go right up to those flowers and the paint just completely covers up that very thin layer of the napkin, and you literally cannot see where the napkin ends and the paint starts, even though it's more of a chiseled edge as opposed to a feathered edge with the water method. Okay, I'm going to plug in my little pink craft iron, and we are going to do the iron on Mod Podge method.
First things first, you need some of this jazz on here. All right, here we go, here we go, here we go. This on here. Nice thin layer of Mod Podge. Thin but even layer, that's the key. And I don't need, oh, that was more than I needed. I don't need to do it, you know, across the whole board here because the napkin clearly isn't that big. But it does make your paint flow better when you have Mod Podge on the board. So that will be helpful.
Once the board is covered evenly in Mod Podge, we give it a quick dry.
I think I'll do it in the middle. That way I can bring these stems down, kind of make this flower probably should have been taken out, but I'm going to leave it because maybe I'll be able to fudge a little flower in here and make it look the way I want.
Now for the purposes of this video, it probably took me about 3 or 4 minutes to iron everything on with the parchment paper over top. And what this does is it just reactivates the Mod Podge that was dried.
Looky there, looky there, look at that. You don't see, I mean, it literally looks like the background of this color. That's a real close color, wouldn't you say? I think it is. Pretty much. My little sander. Sand off the sides. Just like that. It stuck to the sides a little bit, but that's okay. Makes it look more real. I like it. Boom. It's pretty just like it is. Seriously, right? It's pretty. It's pretty like it is by now. I keep pulling things out from underneath my desk is like the magician's magic hat. I just start pulling things out and they magically appear. Like, for instance, this egg carton. Bet you didn't know that was there. Well, some of you did. Some of you know where I keep my egg cartons. This is like a magic show. Poof. Oh my gosh, too funny. Okay, what I'm gonna do here, I'm just gonna go around. This is gel glaze. It's not a stain. It's just a glaze. And what I'm gonna do is it's gonna darken the edge of the napkin. Okay, it's gonna darken it. I'm going to put it on and I'm going to wipe it back with the baby wipe. And it actually darkens the flower too if you get it close enough. But I'm just going to do this. Okay. So that becomes like the, that we gotta be careful because I don't want to take the, not going to put a lot on. That becomes kind of the background. Just kind of wipe it back very gently. Take some out of the lid. It's like Daniel's son. You wax on and wax off. Okay. I'm going to smear some of this around and antique the board a little bit, or the color a little bit. I'm already liking the antiquing process. What you got to do. Okay. Just a little bit. Okay, and I'm even going to do some down here. Can't forget about this spot down here. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna, down here, I'm gonna extend those stems and make it look like it was supposed to look, like it's supposed to be stems coming down on the board. Just a light glaze. Okay, then I'm gonna Mod Podge it.
Okay, once we have the background all glazed, we dry it up quickly and get ready for the Mod Podge.
Okay, so what I'm going to do, I don't want raw silk. No, no, no. I'm going to go ahead, find my Mod Podging brush. I call this lovingly my slap it on brush. This is what I slap it on with. Here we go. Just gonna put a little light coat right over these bad boys.
Now here you want a thin to medium even coat across the whole thing. Okay, and the next thing you're going to do is dry it up and dry it up well. Get ready for paint.
Okay, so we're at that point. We are at the point of no return. It's now or never, Susie. Whatever you gotta do it quick. All right. So what I'm gonna do, it's kind of exciting, is if you don't run amok, it'll be great. I need to replicate some of the colors, like what I did with the other one. Was I looked at the colors that were in it, and if I didn't have those colors, I mixed them, and I found colors that worked. So that was kind of cool. You know what would be pretty in this? I just set it over here, and it just hit me. A little bit of metallic, just a couple little sprigs of it here and there to bring the whole thing to life. Once it's done, I'm thinking, I don't know. All right, this color here is called Mossy Meadow by Folk Art, in case you're wondering. In case you find this napkin, whoops, Mossy Meadow. And I'll just line them up here in case I need a little extra. I'm gonna need a little bit of black, and this is coal black from, and you can use any kind of black acrylic paint you want. This is coal black from Fusion Mineral Paint. I like Fusion Mineral Paint products, so if I can use them, I do. And you just need a little squirt, because a little of this will go a long, long way. Well, I need some raw silk. I'll probably need a little bit, simply because it's a good mixer. It's, you can mix it with other colors, and it will give me some highlights that I need. Probably should go with a little bit of the casement as well, because it'll give me a whiter, brighter highlight that I'm gonna need. This is casement in Fusion Mineral Paint. Okay, now I'm looking at what else I got here. This is like a gray blue, and I actually have this color. Look at that. It's very close. This is a gray. Kind of like that too. I think I'll maybe mix these. I mean, I'm not going to have to replicate this flower, but I am going to get in and around these colors. And this is a sky blue from Apple Barrel. This is a slate gray, it says. Did I mix it? Yep. Nope. Yep. It's a slate gray. I must have mixed it with another color, with slate blue from Anita's. This is a decent paint. I mean, it's decent crafting paint. Not bad. It's a gray. This is a gray. So I might mix it a little bit with that blue. And I'm gonna need a lighter, oh, you know what? I wonder if this, hold on. There's some green in here that I was using earlier. I wonder if this is still, no, it's hard as my head. Okay, we're done with that one. Let me pull that one again. This green right here. Is it? Nope. This green. This green? I wonder if these two together would make that one. Maybe. I'll pull that one just in case. This is Spring Green by Apple Barrel. I got all these little, so I can dibble dabble all through here, okay? And what else do we have? Teal. It's pretty teal. No, this isn't teal. This is really, I'll need to mix this with a green, I'm thinking. because this has got some green in it. I can tell, like the teal here has got some green in it. So that's what you do. You just kind of look at the different colors that are in here. If you don't have them, mix them or get something close to it. Like this teal, if I mix it with that green, I'll bet you it'll come out like that. I'll bet you. Or something close to it. Okay. And brown. We need a little bit of brown. And I got that right here. I've got Folk Art. Burnt umber. Yep. Look at that. Just enough. Right there. Okay, so what I did, y'all. I don't know if you're gonna say, Susie, what are you, nuts? Yep, I am. Okay, I'll put this in front of me so you all can see the magic take place. I was shocked. I'm gonna start in the center, then I'm gonna work my way down to the stems. I used one brush. I didn't use more than one brush. I might with this, I might not, we'll see. But I just kept like rinsing it off and wiping my brush. And for some reason, it worked. I started with a decently wet brush. Let's see, right in here, I'm gonna start with some of this blue. See what this looks like. Don't get scared. Don't be scared of it, just jump in there. Now, I'm gonna go around here in little bits and pieces. Like I'll put the blue here. I'm gonna mix in some green with it, like I said I would. I'm gonna mix in a little bit of green because I'm gonna end up over here. Add a little extra blue here. I don't want to cover up the napkin. Okay. Let's see if I can come up with the color I'm looking for with that blue. That, oh, they're putting it in the gray. Well, that's okay, because we got gray over here. And I'm not going really on the napkin, I'm just going around it. Just kind of dabbing it. Yeah, a little bit of the lighter colors, mixing that in. Just going to do one little area and show you how it works. It's just crazy how it works. What is this here? We got a green along the stem, so I'm just going to kind of work my way up. Don't want to get too dark with it. So what it looks like these have been painted on a background, and they so haven't, as you well know. Okay, I'm going to find me some gray and dabble some gray in there. This is just crazy how it works. And more white. Bring it on up. Where's that green? Right there? Okay. And what happens is you get like these muddled colors, amazingly. And see how I'm not even cleaning my brush. I'm gonna go to the brown. I'm gonna start dabbling that in over here because we got this flower. It's got some brown in it. I'm gonna mix it right into this green. Can y'all see? I'm gonna just start dabbling it in here. Don't worry that it looks dark because I'm gonna add a lighter color to that. Bring it right up to this flower here. Now see how this flower has like a darker edge, and it got mixed in with that brown. But what you do is you add a little lightener to it, just a little, doesn't take much, just a little bit, a little lightener, and blend it. Make sure you're blending. That's really, really key to this. You don't want to see like any lines of demarcation. You don't, it's like when you're doing your makeup, right? You blend, blend, blend. That's the same concept here. You want to blend everything really, really, really well. And if you think your paint is getting too dry, too quick or whatever, reach over, grab yourself a little dot of water and just get right back in there, blend in some water, and it gives it that muddled, ethereal look. That's awesome. Okay, what color do I want to keep going with this? Kind of liked that green, this green, but I think I'm going to put in some blues as well. I had down here a little bit of blue. I just mixed it right in. It's working. We're doing it. Just jump in and start playing with it, y'all. That's all I can tell you. It's just, you know, just get in there and just start playing with the colors and mixing and matching. And if you get into a color and you go, ugh, I don't like that, change it. Put some lightener in it. Put some darkener in it. Whatever you feel it needs. Like here, I'm looking at this flower's got some green in there. I'm going to get in there with some green, but I'm also going to get in there with some whites and lighten it up. I'm not coming right to the napkin. I'm giving myself a little bit of space from the napkin, from the flower, so that I can get in there with that white and lighten it up and mix some of these colors in. This light green here, I'm going to get in there with the lighter green. I'm going to grab a little bit of this teal blue because I think it's really pretty. And what's going to happen is it's going to blend right and mix right down in. You're only going to see a little bit of this blue. You're only going to see a tiny bit of it when I'm done blending. So I'm actually going to add a little bit of brown with that blue, darken it up. But you want some bright, cheery, colorful spots in it, you know? Your arm will fall off from all the dabbing. Hey, nothing ventured, nothing gained. Right? Okay, now I'm going to go in with some white, and this white is actually turning like a grayish color. Kind of cool. Notice I'm using the same brush. I've never changed brushes, right? Going right over that brown now with the gray, because we're getting down in here into the grays, the gray-green. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit of water. Yes, I'm using acrylics. This is all acrylics, guys. All acrylics. I'm going to move this egg carton. Would it be easier for you to see if I move the egg carton? But you'll see when I add the water, it blends the colors together so much better. Just a little bit of water. Go right up to that flower. Don't go on the flower. Go right up to it. Okay. I want to get some lighter green, because this flower has got some green in it. Just a little, just a hint of the lighter green. Whoops. I was working with that lighter green earlier, so. Okay. It'll be colorful. It's amazing. To me, it's amazing how well it just blends in I'm gonna get a little bit of dark in here at the top. Where'd my napkin go? Not too much. The dark goes a long way. I have yet to use the black, but I probably should give it just a hint. Black anchors your eye. So I have a little bit of black in everything you do, and in design as well. Okay, I'm gonna hold this up and kind of give you guys, wanted to blend that a little bit better, but I will. Kind of give you an idea of what it looks like, a backdrop that had been already planted down there before the flowers were, looks like the flowers were painted on here. Where's that brown? I'm gonna put a little bit of white and brown down in here and dabble it together. Yep, pretty pretty. That green, oops, wrong green. Right here. Brown. Bringing it right on down. And what I'm going to do here, I'm going to get a thinner brush to do this little bit of a stem. I'm just going to extend the stem like that. Makes it look like it's coming right out of the page. Bit of white. Where's that black? A little dibble dabble of black. Dark. It actually looks gray, right? When you blend it. You see there's like a little spot of white there? Just leave that right there. That's what it was meant to be. I'm gonna go along the edge of this stem. Give it some black. Keep muddling it together. And when you get to the edge of another color, you want to blend those colors together. You don't want to just, get to that edge and let it stop. Blend them. Don't leave them. Like here, there's some green. I'm going to go up with this darker grayish color. I'm just going to blend it together because that way it looks like it was meant to be that way. Okay, so let's see. There's the brown over here. We're going to make it a little dark, and then I'm going to lighten it up. Right up against the stem I just created. Okay, I'm going to lighten it with a little bit of white. Out this way. A little bit of black. Got these little berries in here. They're kind of this color. They're kind of gray. Get in there. The lighter white up against the berries. And it's touching the berries just a little bit, and that's okay. That's all right. Because it blends them in better. Just as long as when you're done, like see there's a line of demarcation here, you want to blend that. You want to find a color that you want to blend that with. And I'm thinking I'm going to go green. I'm gonna get some green in there and just blend a little bit of green in here. So it looks kind of ombre, you know what I'm saying? It'll look, it'll have all these different shadings going on. Over here to the white. See, that's the end of the napkin there, and I don't want that. I want that to blend. I'm gonna add a little bit white in there. So that you can't see where that napkin line ends. I want that all blended. Okay, going over to this flower, this pretty little daisy. Okay, and I'm going to come up with a color that's going to match the stem. Now this stem looks a little on the bluish side, so I'm going to add, well actually there's some gray on here, so I'm going to go ahead, it looks like the black. So I'm going to go ahead with this black, but then I'm going to go over it with a little bit of blue. This blue, this kind of grayish, kind of like gray color. And what I can do is I can actually change the color of the stem on the napkin to match what I'm doing down here. Okay, I'm gonna pick up a little bit of the black to give it some depth, a little shadowing. Okay, I like that. Pretty. Okay. Blend, blend, blend. Okay. Now I got to be careful by this stem because I just painted it and it's wet. I don't want it to, I'll go back over to this one and work some magic in there. A little bit of gray. A little dab of black. I'm going to get right up to that edge. And I'm going to throw in a little white. But blend it in slightly. Okay, I'm going to show you some of the blending so far. Can you see that? Isn't that cool? So I'm just dabbling this close as I can to the stem. Don't want any lines in there to show. Okay, liking it. A little bit of this blue and this gray together for this, around this flower here. Mix it up. Maybe a little green. It's pretty green. Yep. And a little bit of white. Go down here. Clean off my brush. What I do is I clean off my brush with some of the colors that I don't want too much of the white in here. But the white acts as like sunlight, as a highlight, you know what I'm saying? And it gives it that, for me, it gives it that neat ethereal kind of a look. Like this, like the sunshine is beaming in and giving you some light in there, in the painting. You just gotta take your time and be patient with it. I chose something smaller so it wouldn't take us all night to do, but I don't remember, did this have a stem? It probably did. Right here, I probably should give it a little stem. I've got some of this lighter blue here that I could mix, grab a little green and bring them over to this palette. See what happens? I just take, if I don't see the color I want, I'm going to take these two colors together here and I'm going to mix it in this palette here, and I'm going to try to come up with like a teal, like a little teal color. Now there's some brown in that, so I'm going to grab a little bit of brown and mix it in. And to my eye, that's pretty close as far as the stem would go. So I'm going to go ahead with this brush here and make a little stem. Okay, that little flower needed a stem. All right, take a little bit of black and I'm going to give it a little bit of dimension along the top of the stem and just little streaks along the side, just like that. And I'm going to blend it. Dabble, dabble. Too much. A little bit too much. Now give me another color. And some white to go with that. Now brighten it up over in this corner. Right? Too dark. You want it pretty and light. And pretty. Might as well take it on up. Okay. Now here, there's some brown in here. I need to probably mix in some gray, some of this gray blue, because I see the line and I don't want to see that. And there's some brown in here. I gotta get rid of just a little bit. Yeah, I like that. Some green in with this gray, dark gray and light gray. Doesn't matter. Swirl it in. Find me some white. Just a couple dabs. Some highlights. Okay, I'm gonna go over to this one. Now this is the one I'm gonna have to replicate part of the flower. All right, so this flower's got some green, this green in it here. I might have to go into the actual flower. I'm gonna do a little bit of brown around this part of the sunflower. Let's go in. I'm gonna have to go over this sunflower a little bit with this brown because I want to blend it in. I don't want to see that line down there. See that there was a line right there and there was only half of the middle of the sunflower. So I had to dabble some of this brown in there. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry for a second. And then I'm gonna go in and create those petals with the green and the white. This green and this green. What would happen if I mixed them. Oh yeah. These two greens together, they make a very, very close green to this. It's kind of a sage green, I would call it. Kind of a sagey color. A little white to it. Lighten it up. Yeah. Okay. I'm just going to give the illusion of petals in here. Just making like the illusion of some petals. I put down a green base and then I'm adding a little bit of the Fusion Mineral Paint white. So I'm giving the illusion that these flower petals from up here are now coming down here. Okay? Put down that green base. Around it. Just like this. And then I'm going to come in with the white. Some more. Thank you, you guys. You liking this? You could do this. I'm not kidding you. It's just playing in your, just get your paints out and play. You could do it. I'm telling you. I looked at that picture today and I said, it needs something. Needs something desperately. And so it got something, right? Okay, now in between these colors, I'm going to go in with a darker, like a brown, to give it a line of to separate these petals. And blend. Blend all these colors. Don't worry about it. If they're gray or green or blue or brown, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because it's all going to look good in the end. And if you look at it in the end and you go, I don't like this area, add something to it. Add some white. Add a splash of, what would be pretty is a splash of pink. Seriously, just throw some dark pink in there or gold. Get some metallics going, and bring it to life. Don't be afraid. It's just paint. Y'all, it's just paint. Don't be afraid of it. What's the worst that could happen, right? You got to paint over it. Oh, well, you'll be fine. I'm going in between each of these petals with the brown. Okay, like that. I'm going to pick up some green and maybe even some blue. And I'm going to mix it in with the same brush, right? That's the key, because that's what gives you that muddled, ethereal look that you're going for. Okay. Now over here, and we need some blending. I'm going to add some white, lighten it up a little, all the way to the stem. Now that stem's nice and dry, so we can do that. We can kind of, there we go. Okay. And I'm sorry I'm not looking up and answering a whole lot of comments. Hey Lynn, how are you? Nice to have you. Hi Rachel. Thank you Kimberly. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. Yeah, these are just simple little napkins. I'll hold it up again and show you what we got so far. I think it's looking pretty good. What about you? It looks like they were painted on there, right? Okay, getting in here with the gray. Blend, blend, blend. I think I'm going to pick up just a little bit of color in here. It just seems like it needs some, just a little color, a little blue. And we'll tone that right down with some brown around it. The color I just made is the exact same color as that leaf next to it. So we can't have that. We're going to have to lighten or darken it up a little bit because, or lighten it, whichever the case may be, or both. First darken it, then lighten it. I'm going to go up here. A little bit of white, a little bit of brown. What I'm doing is I'm trying to mimic the color that I'm bringing the paint up next to, only maybe off by a couple of shades. But I'm what's the word? Muting it down. Okay. So I just have this area right here that I have to decide what I'm going to do with. And, you know, I can make it lighter, I can make it darker, I think I will go ahead and add some happy colors in there, blues and some browns. I'll start with the blue up here. A little happy color, because it's going to mimic this flower right here. Okay, it's going to have a little bit of that blue in there. On top of that, I'm going to put a little bit of creamy white, creamy dreamy. And some brown. And we're going to blend this line right here. We're going to blend it so that it kind of fades from one color right to the next seamlessly. That's the key. Just keep pouncing and pouncing until you see no more line, that it just blends without a seam. That's what you're trying to accomplish. My suggestion for doing this would be just get your paints out and start playing with it. Get a board, get a surface that you want to paint on, a bottle, something like that, and start playing with it. Start playing with the colors. Get your pretty napkin that you like so much that you can't stand it, and go for it. This is so pretty. I love this napkin. This napkin's gorgeous. Okay, see now I've got like, it looks like little clouds up here. I don't want that. I want it to look very, very muted. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up a little water and I'm going to dabble it around until it looks muted like I want, with the colors that I want. And you can, you can just swirl it if you want. Swirl it on there. There's no right or wrong. Okay, what do we got going over here? I want to make sure this lighting in here. Oh, you know what? I forgot to turn my overhead light on. I'm like, why is it so dark in here? I forgot to turn my overhead light on. I'm going to add some green in here, just a little bit, to tone down the lightness a little bit, just to blend it. What do you guys think? You gonna try it? You gonna try? I hope so. I hope you will try this. I mean, it's actually quite therapeutic. If you're having a bad day, grab yourself 4 or 5 different paints and start dabbling. I guarantee it'll make your day go better. Quite therapeutic. Cathartic, actually. Oh, I need another stem right there. Coming out right here. Little wispy one. Oh, you know what? Right here too. Because it's coming from up here. And this one right here too. Oh, I need a couple stems to make this look real. I'm gonna lighten it down just a tad, like it is up there. On this left side, it's a little bit lighter. Has some green in it too, actually. Green and brown. Okay. Looks pretty good. I'll let it dry a second. I'm gonna go on to this one. This one looks like it's got some grays and greens, but I'm gonna go with the green for now. It's gonna come right down like this, right through these berries, right down like this. Grab me some brown, give it some highlight, just like that. I'll mute this one down a little bit, go back to this one. This one has more green in it. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go up here, I'm going to add some of this green to this stem so that it'll look like the one down here, right? What do I do? Green and a little bit of white. Let me do this. I want to mute that little bit of white there. Yeah. How's it looking up here? Okay. You know, I'll probably play with it again tomorrow. I'll probably put a sealer on. I'll probably put Mod Podge over it or something. Or maybe I'll spray it with an acrylic sealer. But that'd be about it. This looks just like this one up here. That stem, that looks pretty good. This one looks kind of marginal. I think it needs something, a lighter something. All right. Just lighten that up a little bit with some gray. Okay, I like it. Get that white here, just a skinny little wisp. And I'm going to tone it down. Yep. Same thing with this. Right here. A wisp of white. Whoops. Oh, you don't belong there. Then I'm going to go in and tone it down. Okay. I think that's it. It worked. It worked, y'all. It worked. What do you think? What do you think? You gonna give it a whirl? And everyone will come out different, you know. It just depends on, you know, what you like, you know. And I might play with this a little bit more tomorrow. I might add some skiffs of white in it. I don't know. I don't know. Right now I like it. This down here needs a little work. It needs a little bit more, the flower needs a little bit more work. The points on it need to be a little pointier. And I might blend those colors up into the napkin actually, so that they're all uniform. But for the most part, I think it turned out pretty well. I'm happy with it. What about you? You can't even tell us with a napkin. And here's the other. And here, let me show you the other one. If you just jumped on and you didn't see the one I did earlier with the little tray and the roses, we got this one going too. Did this the other night and didn't like it. Didn't think it worked very well. So I just got in there with some colors and changed it. So there we go. All right, play with your paints, ladies. Get some napkins and play with your paint. It works. It works. I mean, this napkin ended right here. I can see it because I'm up close to it, but you guys probably can't, right? Okay, guys. Oh, you know what? I was going to add some gold, and I might tomorrow. You might see some gold thrown in there in the mix. So, okay, guys, that's it. Okay, bye, guys.
And as you can see, yes, I did add some gold. Just a few specks of it here and there. And also wanted to show you what that other tray really looked like in person. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. And make sure you're following in all the places: Etsy, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Pinterest, and Instagram. Thanks so much for watching.